Christ is in our midst. This last weekend, the second weekend of June, a lot of things were celebrated, both in our church and in the world, not the least of which was graduation parties, as they always happen the first and second weekends of June, typically. But also in the church, we celebrated the feast of a new saint, Saint Luke of Simferopol, also known as Saint Luke the Physician or Saint Luke the Surgeon. Saint Luke lived in the Soviet Union and passed away, I believe, in the 1960s. But his story is a very unique and beautiful one in that he not only was skilled as a physician, but he also was a very talented and gifted artist and drew a lot of pictures of, like eyes and ears and these kinds of things in medical journals in the Soviet Union because God had given him many talents. And one story in particular, which demonstrated his great talents and his faith, was even though the country he lived in was very antagonistic to religion, nevertheless, once a politician or an officer in the Soviet government asked St. Luke to come perform an operation on his wife who had fallen very ill. St. Luke had an icon that he always kept with him in his pocket, especially in the surgery rooms. And the officers who were with them at the time told him he could not bring an icon into the surgery room. And he said, "I'm not leaving it. It goes with me everywhere I go." And the man said, "Okay, if you perform the surgery on my wife and it is successful, you can have that icon in your pocket all the time." And so he performed the surgery. It was successful, and St. Luke carried the icon with him after that. The moral of the story here is that God gives each of us gifts. And as we celebrate this Feast of Pentecost this week, we hear it and we experience it and we read it in the lives of his saints. And we would do well to remember it in our own lives as well. And so as we celebrate our graduates who are graduating this year, let us remember that God has given all of us, including you, gifts to use for the betterment of the world. May we follow the example of St. Luke and so many others in using them for the glory of his name and the good of his people. Amen. God bless you.